Hey, welcome back. So today we're doing the third class of our Spring GraphQL Masterclass, and we are continuing kind of on what we learned in class 2. So today we will add a new type. We'll call it movie cast, which will kind of model actors playing characters in a movie. If you think about it, we modeled directors as a person type, but we want actors playing a character to have an additional attribute, and it's a character name. So we'll just see how to do that. We'll use JPA junction entity, and we'll use kind of nesting on GraphQL side. We will add search to our movies. We'll talk a bit about GraphQL repository annotation. We'll just cover why we haven't used it yet, when to use it, when not to use it. I just waited until this point where I can show some main flaws of it. And then closer to the end, I think we'll talk a bit about nullability in GraphQL, because that's a very important subject to cover. So this class continues exactly where we left off in our previous class. But if you are skipping, or if you're not sure if you followed me exactly, you can just download the starting point here. If you just clone our MovieDB branch class 2, that is literally where we are starting here. So I'll just move myself away so we can focus on the code. And first, I actually want to mention something that I noticed accidentally, that I misspelled this. I didn't notice because Spring didn't report any errors. Everything just worked. So the correct spelling is SCHEMA.GraphQLs. I tried to see in their documentation what exactly are they scanning for, and it seems that they're scanning for any file ending with GraphQLs within GraphQL repository folder. So I tried a few different like this, but I would get an error that I don't have my schema. So I will try to dig out exactly what they are scanning for. But for now, we'll just follow the convention and name it schema.graphqls. Just be careful if you do that. I just need to rebuild your project, because the old schema gets kind of built. It's in your target folder, and if you rename it, you might end up with 2, and then just confuses the runtime. So we will do that, and as always, we'll start changing our schema. So as we said, we will add search movies by title, which is a string, which is not nullable, and that will return a list of movies. We will add a new type. As we said, we'll name it, I actually missed that, we'll name it movie cast, and it will have an ID of type ID that has to be, can't be null. Character name, which is string and can't be null. And here we will just nest our person entity. And this can't be null. So we will add this to our movie. No, like this. And we will say this can't be null. As I mentioned, we'll talk a bit closer to the end of this video about nullability. I think it's like, especially people coming from Java, have kind of a phobia of null. And this thing that GraphQL gives us, kind of guaranteeing that something will never be null, it's kind of very interesting to use, but we just need to understand certain trade-offs and what are we actually doing by specifying this, but we'll talk about that a bit later. Let's add our movie cast entity. I'll add that in our movie package. We'll probably have TV shows cast later, and we'll model that slightly differently. So I'll just keep it here for now. And as we said, that's an entity. I'll keep using Lombok. You don't have to. You can generate your getter setters. I will add a builder here with the no arg and all arg constructor. I will add an ID. We will add many-to-one to our movies. We always want to mark this as fetch type lazy because many-to-one by default is fetch type eager. And in GraphQL, this is really important to mark it as lazy because often you might not even fetch anything from this entity. And if you have it eager, JP will just fetch it every time and kind of you lose the whole benefit of GraphQL. I want to specify a join column here. So I'll just specify name, movie ID. Actually, we missed here our private string character name. And we want to add our person, which again is many-to-one. We want to mark it lazy. And again, I want to specify a join column of person ID. I think that's it. So I'll just generate our equals and hash code using the template that we used previously. I think that is it. I'll just add cast to our movie entity, private, so list movie cast, that casts cast, and this is, we'll mark it as a default. This actually doesn't do anything, just kind of remove some compiler warnings. And this is actually one too many that we want to remove orphans as well. And which is really, really important, we want to mark it here that this entity is doing the mapping. Yeah. Okay, I think that's it. Let's create a repository for our new entity. And that's an interface that extends JP repository. We'll just add I just don't want this. Because we want to search movie cast by movie ID. I think that is it. So the thing that I wanted to show you is I can mark this as GraphQL repository. And we will extend one more interface here. Query by example executor of movie. So this annotation marks this repository as a GraphQL repository. And this kind of enables us to map any GraphQL request of this type without writing the controller for it, and return only the field specified in the request, in the query. So I don't know if that makes sense, but I'll try to show it. So you can see that we created a new query here, search movies. We didn't write our query mapper for that. But if I go here and try to search, you can see here, actually, let's add a title and let's add Christopher Nolan here. So you can see this actually works. So, and how does this work? This is literally this, not this one, this one. So as we said, so just by adding this, Spring will map this and it will recognize it as a GraphQL repository. And then it will just use this to just map any GraphQL request returning this type. So we could even do this. So if I would completely remove this and restart, we would expect this to continue working. So our search still works. We can specify one movie. We can take the same one and just maybe specify a few more fields. So it's still Inception, a remarkable movie. And we can list all movies. Let's just get the name. And this still works. So kind of an obvious question comes to mind. Why didn't we use this the whole time? And I kind of skipped it until now because I couldn't demo specific flaws of it. And also it's kind of, it was useful because we're learning to learn how to map requests manually. But here, kind of, we can see some main limitations. Later, we will talk about limiting. So if we have thousands and thousands of records, we don't want to display all of them. And just using GraphQL repository, we can't do that. And we can't filter. But the main thing that we are missing here is, for example, if I try to search for Godfather, it actually doesn't find anything. I need to, and actually like this, and you can see that now it finds it. Even just making this, just it can't find it. And if we are doing search, this is almost positive not what we are aiming for. But this sometimes is useful. Sometimes you do want to match by specific string, and then just adding GraphQL repository just enables you to do that. For example, if you have certain codes, you have a list of products that you want to filter by specific codes that are fixed, then you don't need anything more. But for now, we'll just remove this. We will add our list of movies that we want to search by containing, and ignore case. I think this is what we want for now. Let's just undo this and let's just write a resolver for our search. So query mapping, we want a list of movie, just closed. Search movies. I think this is exactly what we want. Let's just test this. And you can see immediately that this returns both Godfather movies. I know Godfather has 3 parts. I just kind of, it's good. I just kind of really like the first 2 parts. We will probably add a third one later just for completeness. And just to show, so if we're doing search, we probably want something like this. So we want to search by any part of the word, because often we can just miss the case or not type the entire title. And this is probably what we want. Again, you can see that I didn't write any mapping for our cast. That's because from our movie, we have a link to the list of cast, and JPA will just link that. We can add that because it will just make our life easier later, because we will try to optimize this. So we will use schema mapping, and we will have movie. I don't know why it just wants casts. It's not casts. My autocomplete doesn't work. I want to go here. And we want get cast. And we want to return that. That's just optimizing it for now. We will have the same inputs from problem as here, but we'll talk about how to solve that a bit later. What I want to show you for now, actually we didn't even test this yet, actually, because again, I won't be typing this. So if we go here, let's just populate our seed data. So you go to seed data here. I'll just copy all of this, go to our data initializer, and I'll just paste all of it here. Let's test if we can display our cast. So let's display the person name with the character name. And I think I named, so let me just cast movie directors. We cast person movie, person ID, movie ID. Let's try to troubleshoot this. Yeah, I can see what went wrong. Is it named here wrong? This is our mistake. but oh, it's actually wrong here as well. Now it's good. But this almost already showed what I wanted to show you, but let's talk about it from this angle. If we want to display all movies with the title, for example, and we display all of them, I just want to show you what happens if I go here and, for example, just for our Unforgiven, I put a null for the title. So in our movie type, we defined title as something that can't be null, because we kind of said our movie needs to have a title, because we can't have a movie without a title. But which makes perfect sense, but we didn't make that illegal on our entity. We didn't make our database column as not null. So from our backend side, this is kind of valid data. So if I do this, a very interesting thing happens on GraphQL side. You can see our entire data becomes null, and we just get the error. We can go further. If I go, for example, if I'll undo this, and let me just verify that we made our person name null. And we, yeah. So for example, we won't make Clint null. Clint can't be null. Who can be null? Such movie legends. I have all of these. Ray, sorry, Ray. You'll be null. No, actually, we want to make his name null. So we need to find Ray Liotta and make his name null. And again, from our backend side, this is valid. This probably shouldn't be valid on our backend side, because we shouldn't save anything to our database where the person doesn't have a name. But we kind of just marked it that way so we can demo certain things. So if I show this, I mean, this works because we just display the title. But if I want to display a cast with person's name, again, weird thing happens. Our entire data is null just because one name is null. And why that happens is because it's something called null boundary. If we guarantee something not null, this will try to travel up to the first field that can be null. But in our chain, kind of nothing can be null. So person name can't be null. So we travel up. We go to the movie cast. Person can't be null. So our list of movies that where we can't have a null movie becomes null. We'll talk about this a lot a bit later. I'll probably make a separate class about schema design because schema design is one of the most difficult things in GraphQL, and it's really, really difficult to get it right. But I just want to show that be careful with nullability. It's very, very easy to mark something as non-nullable, but you need to be very, very sure that it can never be null. One obvious example where something can't be null is an ID. If you have an entity, it's highly likely that you will have an ID. If you don't have an ID, you don't have a database entity, if we're talking about database entities. For everything else, even if you mark it as non-nullable in your database, you can just get an error by fetching data. And if you have a list of 100 movies and one ends up being null, and if you marked that none of them can't be null, you'll throw away your entire list. And that's probably not what you want. So I think I'll stop it here for this class. So in the next class, we'll start doing something like a lot more interesting, in my opinion. So we'll start actually changing the data. We'll stop just reading, and we'll start kind of creating new things, updating existing things, deleting stuff. So basically, we'll do that through GraphQL mutations. So yeah, see you in the next one.